2009 was the experience at Egland where you run across the Site C6 for the first time, right? Is this also when you saw the dudes in black camo out in the woods or whatever? Same.
We were there for
2009.
2 weeks. Yeah, we were there for 2 weeks. I can actually tell you because I got a Army Achievement Medal for my time there, so I know what time span I was there.
Got it. Got it. Okay, cool. And how long were you in the service as a whole?
As a whole, about 10 years. 4 active duty in the Marines. 1 year and a half with the regular Army when we were deployed overseas for OEF, and then 5 more years in the reserves or National Guard. So about 10 years total. Five
And
active.
and first of all, thank you for your service. Of course, I do want to say that my father was in the Air Force, grandfather in the Air Force as well. Well, Army, I think it may have switched air. I don't know, World War II. So thank you very much for service, of course.
Thank you.
So 2009 was Egland. So when did you enter the service? What year would that be, more or less?
1994. I went in the service
94.
three different times. The first time I went in 94 to 98. And I got out and started college in 98. And I went 98, 99, 2000. Then I transferred, went to Alabama after that. And my junior year, I was needing some more school money, so I went back into the service. I went in the National Guard in 2003, and as soon as I went back in, they were jerking our arms off to go get deployed because it was after 9/11.
Yeah.
So we got deployed in 05. We came back in 06, and I was stop lost when I was over there because my contract had ended when we were overseas. My contract ended about 5 months before we got back, and about 10 years later, I got a small check for my inconvenience of being stop lost past my contract. And when I came back, I still was a year shy of graduating, so I was working for a couple of years, and I decided the only way I was going to get finished was if I went back in. And at the time, I was still healthy enough to go back in, so I did. I
Yeah.
signed up for 3 more years and went
Oh
from
wow.
'09 to 2012. Plus, I was raising my son by myself. I divorced, and we split ways, and I had custody of my son, so I did that
Yeah.
for support as well. And I finally, in 2012, I'd had so many like operations and surgeries and stuff, I couldn't stay in. I couldn't pass the physical anymore. So, yeah, I'm a disabled veteran now.
Got it. Got it. Okay. Well, I'm so sorry to hear about that. To be honest. Okay. So before we jump into this conversation you've had with this other radar technician, I believe that's the title that he had and that you gave, and then we're going to jump into this News Nation stuff too. But let me just ask you this: like, what besides your personal experiences when you were a child, with your mother and clearly the experience she had too, which is interesting as well. What about your experience at Egland seemed anomalous? Or does it make sense? Like what
Well,
like why would you want to come and forward and tell your story and think people would be compelled to hear it? Because so far the stuff about Site C6 or whatever, I don't know. Nothing sounds too crazy so far of anything you've said.
right. Um, it basically just,
Or maybe I'm missing something here.
well, to me, after seeing what I saw when I was a kid and knew that they actually monitored the things from there, um, I've
What
seen,
do you mean monitor the thing? Like what do you mean by that? You're
well,
saying
like when you go into the lobby, their mission statement says, we monitor all space activity, terrestrial and extraterrestrial, from planet Earth. And that kind of just hit me like,
do you
the
think that's
shot.
maybe like a little like ad astra
Right.
sort of
Oh,
thing,
yeah.
like
Oh,
what I
yeah.
mean, like
Yeah.
not
I know.
necessarily, oh, we got ETs here, but just like mission statement, kind of
Yeah.
ingest a little.
Yeah.
I don't
I've
know.
seen that many times. A lot of units I was in did that. But I just felt like there was something.
A little bit
next
more
level
behind that.
happened. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
I feel you.
it
Okay.
it was because, for one thing, it was a restricted site, and if there was nothing really going on, it wouldn't be restricted. For one, it did not look like anything uh, imposing or anything that would be that technologically advanced.
Yeah,
So, but it definitely had my curiosity because I had not had those thoughts about what I experienced when I was younger for years.
sure.
And so when I met the radar technician and he, started talking to me about the place, I felt a little bit better finding more information out about the place because I wanted just to kind of cool my curiosity about it. So,
Sure. How
um,
did you verify that he actually was this radar technician? Like he was who he says he was?
well, I never saw his DD 214, but he's got the unit logo and everything on his page, and he's also told me stories about guys he served with there, and that's
So you
another story.
believe him? Like you
Oh
believe
yeah,
that he was in the military? Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and he had told me about companies he worked for that I'd never heard of.